Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone on YouTube coming through. This is Bag of Dawn at Stock Market Caddy, and today is Friday, June 9th at about midday. We thought we would give you a midday view as we wrap up the week. And we had a little bit of a draw earlier today, so we're going to hopefully clean that up and then some. And also posted here is the CME challenge. There were 2,200 traders entered into the contest for the entire week, trading futures, precious metals. Everyone had to play by the same rules, only four markets. And looks like we're going to come up a little bit shy. But it closes at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it'll be updated every 3 minutes. So um, would have, could have, we had a shot. We absolutely did. And we we couldn't trade it real actively because we couldn't automate. I'm not making excuses, but that's a big part of what we do. So we couldn't. And when you place the orders through them, it's like a two-step process. So it's a little bit cumbersome. But all in all, if we finish in the top 100, that'll be the top 5%. We did get as close as yesterday. Actually, yeah, it was either yesterday or even today. I think we were as close as 35. But we were trying to get in the top three. So I think we can still break in. Now we're at 116. That's updating. That isn't me doing that. You can see we're stockmarketcaddy.com. The others, I got to give him credit. The that number one position, he had 20 trades for 71 grand. I mean, he traded very, very well. The other person right behind him, I mean, there's no getting around it. Those are very, very good traders. They did very, very good. Um, we um, we really, the when you're trading in the contest like that, we don't want to embarrass ourselves. We want to do well, but we want to try to win it, right? We wanted to win it, not just top three. We wanted to win it, and so we were in great position. We were at I want to say, was it yesterday, day before? We were at a total of about 35,000. We were short the metals, and we made an aggressive, bold move to close the short and to turn and get long. And we were just a little bit early, and it set us back. But we recovered, but not enough to doesn't appear, I mean, something we have enough firepower on. And by the way, they were it's a very fair contest because everyone's got to play on the same platform, same, now you can use whatever tools. Um, and you can't play with the margin levels. Everyone's got to use the same level of margin. Um, and it is what it is. So we got an hour to go, and we are short gold and we are short silver. So we were taking a counter trade on it. And so it is what it is. We'll see if we can break down and get into the top 50 or so, but it's only the top three that make money. If you have any questions about who we are, what we're doing, don't hesitate. And we're now fortunately profitable for the day. We're thinking that this is going to come in pretty good. So we got eyes on this trade, and we're going to let that run. Any questions? Feel free, and we'll let you watch, and then we'll probably have to shut down, shortly after 1 o'clock, bring our week to an end. For those of you that are passing by on YouTube, if you're seeing us for the first time and you have any questions, don't hesitate. You're welcome to visit the website. We're showing you a glimpse of Swing Machine doing its thing, doing a beautiful job. We're doing two things. We got that NQ short. We're going to stay short there. And then we're also giving you a glimpse of that little CME site. And that is updating every 3 minutes, as you can see. And we're not deluding ourselves. We don't think we're going to be in the top three, unfortunately. We had our shot. And but hats off to what they did. They did good. 2,200 traders started the week, and right now we're at 127. And we certainly got enough firepower to break below 100, maybe even break below 50. But right now we're in the top 5%, and so we didn't want to embarrass ourselves, but we were out to win it, and it is what it is, though. Hats off to them. There've been two other contests that we've entered. We had one, this one had 2,200, had the most, so it seems to be growing. One of the first ones was 1,400, and we were top 10 in the last day, and we finished number 20. The next one had 1,600, and at 5 in the morning of the last day, we were number 2. That was close. It was close. And we ended up finishing number 7. Dan, if you have any questions, your opportunity, middle of the day here, Friday, wrapping up our week. We've had a good week. We hope you have too. We have that little position on up there. That is a mini contract that is short, and we did a little drawdown on a little active trader, so we're going to try to clean that up, be profitable for the day. The little white box that you see there to the right, that's updating every 3 minutes, and that's the CME challenge. CME is the Chicago Mercantile, and that's where the futures contracts are traded all over the world. It's the largest exchange in the world. They had a contest this past week, which they'll do occasionally. You had to trade you had to choose 4 markets: silver, gold, platinum, or palladium. And everyone had the same level of margin. Everyone had the same rules. Everyone had the same platform. Everyone had the same opportunity. And our hats off to the folks that, they got a little Donnybrook up there. This just oh my God, this is $70 difference between 1 and 2. $70. Come on, boys. That's incredible. Between Abraham, they're trying not to make any mistakes right now. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. It's only the top 3. Ordinarily, you don't have to, compete, right? You just got to make money every day, but you don't have to, necessarily beat anybody. But in this little contest, it's only the top 3. Top person gets an ounce of gold. So is that, $2,000. And then number 2, I think gets like 1,500, and 3 gets like, I don't know, grand or something. But we were trying to do it for bragging rights, and looks like we're going to come up right now. We're at 127. We had a shot. We all, it's just like a golf game, we were very close. Now, we weren't able to trade it. I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but we weren't able to trade it robotically. We could only trade it mechanically. We had to go into their platform and and execute the trades. And so it's a little bit cumbersome. And we didn't give it 24/7 attention. Maybe we should have. We said that if we got in within the top 10 to 20, we would have gone around the clock, and but we weren't. We got as close as 35 yesterday, and that was as close as we got late in the week here, was to the top position, about 35, and then we fell back. And we can only get what we get, but we'll see. We'll see where we finish. Right now, we're again top 5%, so respectable. And if you haven't registered on the CME site, I think you should. It's free. They get a lot of good education. They will do these little, tools. And I think, I think if you're following somebody, I don't know why they wouldn't, compete. We made it clear to our members that we're going to do it, and try to do the best job we could without, killing ourselves. But just came up. We had some really, really, really nice stuff though. We really did. That could have, would have, let's see, we get an update. We're now at 121. So little, but we only got 15 minutes, only 15 minutes left. Any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. You're welcome to visit. We got a new website. You're welcome to explore the website and send us any emails. The volatility has been really, has really been coming in over the last several weeks. I don't think that's going to last. I think that a lot of times that happens, late July going into August. I got the feeling that it's going to be the other way around. I think it might continue into the 4th of July, but I think shortly after the 4th of July, going into August, going into the fall, things are going to get really, really heated again. And I think, the volatility is really going to rise. This is a great opportunity to work on your game. Great opportunity, to get serious about your trading. We did, if you go to our live session section on YouTube and look on Monday and Tuesday, we did a live session middle of the day, and we had some option trades that we're putting on. And if you go and you look, you can see where we got them and you can see how they would have done. And they were being generated off of one of our tools called the SMC Trade Generator, Pebble Beach. And specifically for stock trading and option trading, we had some nice hits there. So any questions, let us know. We'll be here. We'll see. We'll post and snap. We want to snap a static picture of and see exactly just where we are. And I think this will stop updating at about 1 o'clock. At least that's what they've told us. Look at this though. 71,800, 71,730. Are you kidding me? $70. This one here, 70,200. So $2,000, they just now none of these guys, none of them were in the top 10 at the beginning of the week. Now there were some that, they just pick a number, red or black, and they can get posted up there earlier in the week, but they don't stay. So these guys, I got to give them credit. 20 trades is very good. 27, 26, 68. That tells me that, he is very, very active. May have been a couple of people trading that. 53, that's pretty good. 54, 22, that's very, very good. 81, what a lot of trading there. 13 trades, that's pretty good. We're at 28. I felt, that was a little bit more than what I had wanted to do. If we had gone overnight, though, we would have been very active and really tried to. I wouldn't settle for that. These guys aren't even trading. You can tell they're not even updating. They're hoping the other guy makes a mistake. I would go in and try to punch it out for sure. I would just use swing machine and just punch out 5 or 10 grand. He's certainly got the firepower to do it, but they're afraid. They're just sitting there. That's crazy. You got a shot. Take it. There's just nothing that we can do. They're out of reach of us. There's just nothing that I can do. So we'll just let it play itself out. It was yesterday we had the account at 35,000. We were really in good position, and I think we were at 30, 35. So we were right up in there, and we were short the market. We closed a little too early, and we flipped it a little too early, just a little early. And we recovered, but just not soon enough. So we've done this now 3 times. First one, ranked number 20 out of 1,400. The second one, that was close, 1,600. We came in at number 7. And this one here, is yet to be printed, but this will be our worst showing. Not the best market. The other markets were with the indices, palladium. I don't trade palladium. We didn't even trade palladium, although palladium collapsed, and that could have been, a great one to go. Swing machine was on it. Platinum, we were short platinum up around 1,100. Probably should have stayed with it. That could have done it. Plenty of leverage. We got short silver and gold, and they just didn't do anything today. If silver had dropped, which would be a big drop, but if it had dropped $1, we would have made like 50 grand, and that we needed that. Didn't get it. We trade futures. It's amazing to me. They say that less than 10% of all traders trade futures, and I just don't get it. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe folks just don't know, they're afraid. Um, Futures are a great way to go, especially you can trade micros now. They're high most for the I don't know about palladium, but they're for the most part they're very liquid. Um, it's just if you're a trader and you're not trading, and options are fine for going out, for days and weeks and all that, but you do have to contend, and our radars will do interpret the Greeks and tell us where where we should be and what we should be doing in the way of options. But there are no Greeks with futures. You don't have to worry about time decay. You just don't have any of that, and you don't really have to worry about implied volatility in terms of the way options are priced. I mean, implied volatility could be a factor for your decision, but and we're still at 128. She's up to when you see it go black like that, she's just updating every 3 minutes. See, we had to swing for the fences when we got to 35,000, we were still well off. So I pretty much knew how they were positioned. So the only way I was to catch them was to reverse our position and to play for a significant breakdown in hopes that, that would bring them in if they did anything, or we could catch them, and we just didn't get it. Just, can't get blood out of a stone. If we were in the top 20, I mean, if I was at, in the 60s and 70s, then I would have stayed up for 24 hours and traded it aggressively, picking off 5, 6 grand, 5, 6 grand, and got us up in there, and had a shot. I mean, we would have had a shot, but from here, we don't have a shot. And you couldn't jump markets, right? I mean, you couldn't suddenly just start trading the Nasdaq. You could, everybody had to trade the same markets, one way or the other. If you're new to trading, I think about it, probably more than most. But I was watching a podcast. They were doing a story about Henry Ford, and his idea of what ultimately became the assembly line of sorts. And Henry Ford had this idea. He wanted to actually build a tractor, and wasn't ultimately became a car, I guess, a truck, and know the rest of the story. But he wanted to build a tractor, and he had it in his mind, though, as a young boy. He could see them. I guess he had families that were meat butchers, and they would hang the meat, and the meat would move along like on a chain, and then they would carve the meat off, right, as the thing would move down the line. And so he took that idea, that concept, and said, geez, if we could, design a better tractor and have the tractor moving along the line, we could assemble screws and assemble and, the whole drill there. For traders, when we're actively trading, that's the image, that never really expressed it in these terms before, but I thought, but it is how we think about it. That's why, like, the end product of, at the end of the week, the where the S&P began, where the S&P ends, where gold began, where it ends, whether it's at the beginning of the week or the beginning of the month or the beginning of the year or the end of the year, doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter. We just think of the S&P market as as a piece of meat, you know, that's on one of them chains and it's just hanging. Our job is to, as it moves down along the line, is to carve a piece off, carve a piece off, carve a piece off, and then put the meat in your storage locker or wherever, is what we're doing. That's what they're doing to you. This notion that, you're going to work your whole life and you're going to put all your bread into, the next Google or the next, yeah, there are going to be those instances. And there will be big winners and maybe in some aspects, but by and large, most people are not going to get that, you know. And so, but there, not everyone should do this, though. We don't think everyone should do this. But it does take time. It does take a discipline. It does take a patience. And did I say that it takes time, takes discipline, takes patience? It does. It does. It may look a lot easier than it is. Um, Much like, the game of golf too, how hard can that be? Got a little ball, you got a little stick, and you just swing the golf club and hit the ball. Anybody can do that. Shit, I can do that, right? It's a little bit more to it than that. You know, Anybody can go to the driving range and hit a golf ball, and maybe occasionally hit it 300 yards. But doing it day in and day out, um, one, you better really, really like to hit golf balls. You better like the game. Because if you don't like it, then you're not going to be patient with it. And you're not going to have the discipline for it. And it just isn't a good idea, especially in the trading game. Let me put it in a more positive light. I think it's best to do something that you love to do, whatever that something is, and then get better and better and better at it. And it makes it even more and more fun. But if you set out to do something that you don't like to do, and it becomes a source of frustration, a source of anger, a source of, you know, and you're merely like, I had one person say to me, and he called from Europe and he had a block of money. And he said, I just want to come into the market. I want to make some money so that I can go really pursue my passion of real estate. What? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why not just, get get involved in real estate? Now, I don't know what his position was. I don't know, but maybe he doesn't have enough capital to buy that first home or that first real estate property, but maybe you go to work for somebody that does and you save and work toward what it is you want to do. That makes sense to me because the person um will persist through it. If you're doing something that you really don't want to be doing, the first time you get, hit in the nose, mm, you know, you won't stay with it. You won't. And maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a good thing. And so we're still at 129. We just can't make any headway on that. That's too bad, but whatever. We gave it a shot. I, we were so close. But much like a golfer, I always, live vicariously. I love the game of golf. I didn't play professionally by any means. But I always wondered, like, how maddening can that be, right? Although they're very well compensated and everything for sure. But, at the end of a 4-day tournament, they come in wherever they come in and say, but if it wasn't for this shot or that shot, I would have, it's got to be a little maddening that way. The good news for us is that we don't have to place. You don't have to, be in the top three every day. You don't. There are 24 trading days in a month. If you can come in, carve off a little piece of that meat that's going down the chain, $100 a day, it's 2,000 a month. 200 is 4,000. You can do the math from there. Can you be content? Can you be happy with that? Can you block out all the noise, right? And block out all the, all the, there's a lot of noise around this. There's noise from other traders. I don't want to add to that noise. A lot of times we'll just punch up and let everybody watch, which is what I'm going to do here in the next 30 minutes. I'm not going to chat and chat and chat. It's just too much noise. But I do think that you've got to think through, what it is you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish. And then I think you also need to know how to keep score. And if you're keeping score just on the money, then you're going to be trading just greed and fear, and you're not going to know what to work on next week, what to do. I have legal pads. I even just told Susan, it's like, Susie, you got to get another box of legal pads. I have so many legal pads, and I keep all my notes, right? So many ideas, so many things. And I can't show you what we're looking at, but we're looking at something really, really, really neat. That hopefully we'll be able to roll out to our members here in the weeks ahead, if not in the months ahead. But any case, if you have any questions, let us know. Thank you for stopping by. I'm not suggesting that everyone do this. I'm not. I'm not soliciting funds to manage. We don't manage anyone else's money. We don't make specific recommendations to buy or sell anything. No. And I don't make any claims. I don't make any claims that if you go through the Q school or that you become an annual member that, you're going to start printing money. I can't and I don't. But I do say this is that if you do go through the Q school, I think the Q school had a little email discussion with somebody today. I think the Q school is more valuable than the annual membership. Person kind of wanted to jump the shark and not real fond of that. What he wanted to do is he wanted to be an annual member without going through the Q school. And I get it. But the problem is that that's like trying to jump the shark. And I would rather a person do the Q school in the on-demand videos and wait and learn, before becoming an annual member. I'd rather that, because the education is going to be more valuable than any one individual tool. And but that's what everyone wants to do, right? They don't want to invest in the education. They don't want to take the time. They just want to trade. They just want to make the money, and they want to do it now. They want to do it next week. They want to do it in 30 days. And it takes time. It takes commitment. And we're still at 128. Can't make any. We're short silver, and we're also short gold. So we just can't make any. And up there, a couple $100 difference now. Come on, boys and girls, Abraham and Burridge. You see these two birds? Come on. You cannot go into the last 30 minutes playing Katie by the door. Same thing with these top three. Come on. Take a shot, If you had swing machine, you could blow it out. If I was here now, what I would do is I would just go ahead off of swing. He's getting a long signal on goal. This, I'll be rooting against myself, but I think I'd probably, boy, he's got 30 minutes. I think I'd probably just, get 10 contracts on the gold trade. If he gets a couple of bucks, he'll punch it out. He's got to give himself a shot. Fortunately, you don't have to trade like that day in and day out, though, right? You don't, right? We don't. We don't have to compete like that, and that wouldn't be a good thing. It wouldn't be. Any questions around futures that I can answer? We are diversified in what we do, though. We do trade options. Um, we will buy put, we will buy calls, but we're also we will do debit spreads. We will also do credit spreads. Probably our favorite are credit spreads. Gonna have we did on Tuesday. We showed this. If you go to the live section on our YouTube, you'll see the tool that we're using. It's blue because it's stocks. Futures are green, have a green, green setup to it. This is color is green, is what I mean. The stocks are blue. You'll see it on the in the video. We got a beautiful Pebble Beach sell signal on Microsoft at 335. I don't have it up right here in front of me, but we sold a call at 335, turned around, took a portion of that money and bought a call higher. It's called a call credit spread. And that paid out beautifully. Very, very, very nice trade. So we draw a distinction between trading discretionary and mechanical and robotic. And again, over here, we had to trade it mechanically. We couldn't trade it robotically. So it was kind of a pain, but everyone else got to do the same thing though. So I have to shadow some of the tools and then go into the CME site and push 2 or 3 buttons to get the trades in. And they're not really fast. They're kind of slow for it updates. And so, we didn't, couldn't trade it crazy. And we're still at 129. Now I thought, if silver's a lot of leverage in silver. So we put, we needed to use the maximum leverage. I'm using maximum leverage here on them. If silver had come down $1, which it's capable of doing, that would have been $50,000. So we would have been right up in there. But you can tell these guys, they're not even trading. They're afraid. They're afraid. They're not moving. They're trying to sit on it. You might try it. You might see him in the last 5 or 10 minutes try to punch something through. The Q School is made up of about 25 hours of on-demand video, and then we augment that over a 3-week period with a live Zoom feed where we answer your questions and show you what we're doing and control your view. We have another screen, another Zoom link that we can do, and that we have it up actually, and so we have folks that are in there at various times, and we try to keep it no more than 2 to 3 people at any one time. And we think that the Q school is a really important step. You'll have fun. You'll learn a ton. You won't look at the markets the same. You won't. And and then at the end of the Q school, you can wait. You can. I've been asked, is the information transferable? And it is, right? I mean, you don't have to stay with us. We hope you will. If you do decide to become an annual member at that point, we'll credit you back $1,000 that you would have spent on the Q school, um, and and you can become an annual member at that point, and you'll be ready to roll. If you're going to be an annual member, though, you do need to have trade station. So wherever you are in your part of the world, here in the States, readily available. In other parts of the world, you have to maybe double check on that, because our programs will only work on the TradeStation platform. And so you would actually have Swing Machine, but you would have dozens of others, right? We have close to 65 other programs. These guys are chicken. They don't have any trades on. I think, everyone starts out, I think, in pretty much the same place we did, investing, and investing is fine. There's a place for that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that gold turning down there, silver's turning down a little bit. I'd like to see us at least be profitable for the day, and see if we can get under 100 to put us on the top 5%. Um, where was I? I was looking at that. I distracted myself. Um, but I think you get to a place where it just doesn't matter when you're trading. It could be gold. It could be the NASDAQ. It could be lumber. It could be meat. It could be, silver or copper or oil or unleaded gasoline, just as it could be Apple or Amazon or Tesla or whatever. It's just what is so nice about when you move into futures trading is you don't have all the noise. Maybe around the indices you do. And there are plenty of futures traders that don't trade what we call the financials. They trade everything else but, because, you don't have a bunch of stock pimps on CNBC, Tesla is a technology company and it's going to be this and it's going to be that, and and what they haven't told you is, their firm, their firm, it's got, $10 million call options that they expire like, at 4 o'clock, and they come out and tout it and dump it, into the market, and that sort of crap, which is totally illegal, but probably done every single day. And you don't have to deal with that. I don't want to deal with it, with the stock pimps. I just want to move in and move out and come back to that conveyor belt. So I think of the market as being on this conveyor belt, and it's just moving down the track every day, and it's moving this way, it's moving that way. Our job is to go in and carve a chunk off every day and not lose sight of what we're doing. I'm not gonna, get caught up in, where leave that to the Tom Lees of the world, oh, S&P 500 going to be at 5,000, Judge, at the end of the year, that guy, the big black glasses. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. $400 difference between these two. At least this guy's made a shot at it. Abraham, he's down 2 grand now. He's probably kicking himself that he didn't. This guy also, yeah, today he's made 10 grand. So they've done a little bit of trading, but they're probably on some of the same market. This guy's got platinum and silver. I don't think this update's quite correct because we've traded silver and we're in silver and it doesn't reflect that here. Again, we're at 113. We just can't. There's nothing I can do to catch them here. I just don't have enough time. So we'll just sit on it. When it comes to options, it's important, we get a chance to talk to a lot of folks and, you know, um, sometimes, people tell me that, they've been trading options for like 5 years. And I'll ask them, I'll be like, well, how do you make your decision? And there's one conversation that comes to mind. And the gentleman said, well, I subscribe to this service. They're out of Canada. And they send me 10 trades every night. I'm like, okay. And, they tell me, get calls or puts. And I'm like, okay. And, then how do you decide from there? Well, I just pick a few. Like, okay. And you've been doing that for 5 years. And yeah, like, how has that worked for you? Um, well, I made $30,000, then I lost $30,000, and I'm basically where I started. I'm like, okay, and you've been doing it for how long? For 5 years, you know. And then I did ask, have you learned anything? No, no, not learned a thing. You know, do you have any idea how and why he picks what he picks? No. Do you have any idea why, how, and why you pick what you pick? No. Uh, Um, do you have any idea how options, work? Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, well, how do they price them? Well, and it's shockingly so how many people are trading options and have no idea how they're priced. They just don't. When it comes to options, they didn't get the Nobel Prize for being dumb. There's a formula for how they price them, and that formula is based on direction of the underlying, on the duration, time, and then also something called implied volatility. And there it's, again, they got the Nobel Prize for it. I don't know if they were that smart in what they did, or the markets now have just, adopted that formula and now reflect that, but they're just really, really good. And so if you're buying and selling options and you're only concerned with direction, which is what most people are like, obviously I buy a call because it's going to go up, or I'm going to buy a put because it's going to go down, and you don't have any consideration for the duration. You don't have any consideration for the implied volatility. I mean, you may even get it, but you still don't make any money. And so we do have a tool. It's not the swing machine, but we have something called the option club selector, and it's making it's presenting trade opportunities that factor in and interpret the direction, interpret the duration, interpret the implied volatility, and present stock opportunities, and actually tell you, that, this one here, yeah, you could probably get away with buying a call. This one here, you could probably get away with buying a put. No, this one here, rather than buying a call, you would be better selling a put credit spread. Uh-oh, what's that? Wait a minute. You know, what's a put credit spread? What's the difference between a put debit spread? So you do need to, all right, we're getting there. Hey, we got and bragging rights here. We got 10 minutes left. See if we get underneath 100. We're at 116. Um, so you do need to know that, right? I wish the contest went until the close of the day. We've done this happened before. And then, if silver craps out this afternoon and gold for, you know, it'll sting a little bit. We just couldn't get anything out of it. There just wasn't any opportunity. If you have any questions, though, don't hesitate. Now, we will invest, right? So, we've been doing this a long time. We haven't been doing this for 6 months, 6 years. We've been doing it a long time. Susan and I will invest long term. There's nothing that really catches our interest right here, right now. But we have and we will. Big fans of writing or selling covered calls, though. It's a great way to go. It's allowed, it's one of the government restricts what you can do in an IRA account, but they actually allow you to write covered calls in an IRA. It can be a great way to go. We got great tools for doing that. It's just that it takes time, right? For options, we can't come in and show you, in a, you know, during a YouTube session. I mean, we could you can look at what we did earlier in the week, but those trades take days, sometimes weeks to play out. And that's what's so difficult too with options, in that I'm not sure that people understand that. They put them on and they think, like, an hour or 2 hour later, they should be making money, or if it goes against them. And you don't really want to be keeping track of the percentage return on options. You want to be keeping track of the profit factor, because the percentage returns, 10%, 15, 20, 30, 50%, even 100% return, on options is a little misleading. You got to keep track of the profit factor, because you will have 30, 40, 50%, and sometimes they hit you for more than that, especially with the time decay. And do you want to be buying the option? You want to be selling the option? I think your probability of profit is going to go way up if you're a seller of options. Probability of profit. Not saying that you're going to make more money, but you're going to have, over time, you'll do better. By the way, it's kind of you might see a bit of a break this afternoon. The contracts are rolling as we speak. The June contracts, the September contracts are going to start trading more volume than the June contracts today. So they're rolling on volume. The June contract will expire, that is a doornail, next Friday, triple witching. The options will also be expiring. We got weekly options, but the monthly. And so you could see a shift in the market a lot of times around, options expiration. How do they want to be positioned? And the markets are really extended up here at 4,300 and 14.5, and even the Russell's had a really pretty good run. So it could linger up here, but I'd be inclined to be thinking that once we get past the 4th of July, we start getting into the middle part of July, you could see a turn down, um, before the fall, a little bit of a jailbreak. Markets are priced for perfection right now, and I think it's a little bit overdone. I wouldn't place a bet on any of that at all, though. And I certainly wouldn't do it with futures, right? If I was going to do it, I would, we have done it with options, define risk. We'll keep the YouTube up until they close out the CME, which I think will happen right at about 1 o'clock, and we'll see where they post us. See if we can get under this 109. How much I can do. Some nice advantages to trading. You don't have a boss. You don't have to travel. There's not a whole lot of paperwork. You can do it as much as you want. You don't have to do it all day, every day. You don't. Um, it's nice. It really is nice. And we're locked onto one view. We have other views, and when we lay out during the Q school, there's a whole host of other tools that you can use. And you can make it as complicated or as simple as you want to do. We try to keep it simple. Try. I think we'll get one more update, and we'll see if that was enough to get us under 100. 2,200 traders, so there'd be top 5%. But and these guys, come on, are you kidding me? For $100, they couldn't break that. That's terrible. I I would have done it. This guy just put himself over by a little bit. That's terrible. Shame on you. Should have gone for it. So you should update. If you have any questions, feel free. And as soon as we get that last update, we'll going to have to sign off on YouTube. Thanks for stopping by. You're always welcome to call on any if you have any questions. The new website thing explains a lot about who we are, what we're about, how we approach things, and we don't have thousands of members, which is a good thing, right? It's good. We're small. We're a mentorship, and so you're always welcome to call, and it can even be over a weekend. We just ask, call between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. And if I'm not already on the phone or doing something, we get now gold sells down, you little bastards. Same thing with silver. Let's see if we get an update here. We really needed silver to collapse a full buck. We needed like 1,000. That was a pretty unlikely scenario. This might be the final leaderboard. There is an update. Let's see who's got this guy. He's gonna lose by $120. Good grief. This guy, 600 to 700. I think that might be it. It's now 102. So I don't think there'll be another update. Everyone on YouTube, thanks for stopping by. We thank you. Any questions, give us a shout. Have a wonderful weekend.